back from Vermont.
And you brought presents.
What a trip that was. Yes, I brought you real maple syrup.
So I have always heard that this is like liquid gold that you brought me. And it's so cute. It's in like a little maple leaf jar.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
Totes adorbs.
And what people do, there's this farm near my sister that actually made this stuff. And it takes like 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup on it. But the stuff is just so good. Like, you know how you use a cheap syrup and you just douse, your pancakes with it?
Right, to get flavor.
Yeah.
Get the dryness out, soak it.
This, you just don't, that's why that bottle is so small.
Right. So I'll be using it.
Yeah. And like, I brought
sparingly.
I brought home like a mason jar of it that my sister gave me, which is probably, 16 ounces or something like that.
Yeah.
And my roommate goes to make French toast, and I'm in the shower. I come out, and I'm like, God, this house smells great. And I'm like,
that's my syrup.
Oh, no. And I go out, and like a quarter of it is gone over 2 pieces of French toast. I'm like, come on, man.
Like, dude, you don't need that much. From now on, you're getting Walmart great value.
Yeah.
Stay away from my...
Oh, that's a good idea.
From my good stuff.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna order some of those bottles off of Amazon, and I'm gonna fill them with Aunt Jemima.
Right, fill them with the cheaper stuff,
shitty stuff,
so he doesn't touch your good stuff.
And this stuff is, I swear to God, it's like crack.
So what did he say? Did he like it?
Yeah. All he said was delicious. Best he's ever had.
Yeah. And you're like, that's why I told you not to use it all up.
Yeah, and the other day, when I flew back about a week ago, right before the Super Bowl, it snowed. Like, it must have snowed as soon as I got home, because I got out, my car was covered in like 3 inches of snow. And what we did in Vermont is you take the snow and you pack it in a bowl. Pack it as hard as you can. And then you heat up the maple syrup to 220 degrees.
You make like a snow cone?
Yes, but when you pour the syrup on the snow, it caramelizes and hardens almost immediately.
Oh, wow.
So it comes out like this combination of hard candy and taffy-like substance.
Oh, or I was going to say, is it a popsicle? Or?
Close.
Okay.
You can stick it in the freezer and freeze it to that point. Yeah.
Okay.
But... oh, it was so good.
Cool.
And I hadn't done that since I was a kid.
Ah.
Yeah. When I was a kid growing up in Vermont, we actually did that. We actually went out and collected sap, from all the trees, brought it in, did the whole boiling thing. You boil it till it gets down there.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And I also brought back, just for you.
I'm so excited.
It's called Smitten Mittens.
It's called Bernie's Smitten Mittens. And it has the picture of Bernie when he is sitting on, wasn't he at an inauguration? And sitting there freezing with his mittens on?
Yeah. And he has
his mask
on.
I think it was the inauguration when Joe Biden became president. Yeah. And it's really cute, and it's from 4 Quarters Brewing Company.
Yeah, in Winooski, Vermont.
Winooski,
Vermont. Which is right down the road from where I grew up.
So, do we get to try it now?
We get to try it.
I've been waiting.
No. Describe what's the ingredients on it, because you have your glasses on.
Oh, okay. It's called their Maple S'mores Stout. Milk stout with milk,
what is milk
sugar.
Stout?
Okay. A milk stout is a type of beer.
Okay, what's milk sugar?
With milk, sugar, maple syrup, chocolate chips, ooh, yummy, cocoa, graham cracker, and marshmallows. Oh, okay. Can we try it now?
All right. So cheers to, we're back in the studio.
Cheers.
To continue another year of podcasting.
Packed my bags. I'm moving to Vermont just for this beer.
No, it doesn't taste like a cold brewed coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But with that,
it's good. But with more magic in it. With magic.
Yeah, you you get that immediate maple, then you get like almost like a coffee taste, and I guess it's more like the graham cracker comes out.
I know.
Like,
I was going to say I could really taste the graham cracker. I can even taste the marshmallows. It is delish.
It's like,
I want another sip.
Yeah. This is a podcast, folks. We'll just be drinking beer.
Oh. Delish.
Oh, yes. Wow. Nice. And spoiler alert, I couldn't wait to try it. I stayed at my sister's house up there, and it was like 18 degrees out. And I had this beer, and I was just like, my brother-in-law, who's a big beer drinker, but he drinks light beer. I was like, hey, what you got there? Oh, nothing. I'm sending that back. But as soon as he went to bed, I had to crack one open.
Dude, I don't blame you. So you bought a 4-pack. If I wouldn't have blamed you if you only came back with 2. That's what I would have done. I'm just being honest. You know.
Well, I wanted to share.
Yeah, I know. You're more generous than me. Like I said, I would have scarfed 2 of them for myself.
Yeah, syrup and beer.
So thank you.
So the big news this week was Joe Biden's old.
Joe Biden is old. He said it himself. He's called himself elderly. Newsflash.
Yeah.
In case there are people out there who still didn't know that Joe Biden is old.
He's old.
Joe Biden is old.
He's old.
He's old.
He looks old.
He's old. He looks old. He talks old.
He talks like
he's old.
You know, he sounds like you young whippersnappers.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
What's his dog's name? Major.
Major, quit biting people.
Get off
quit biting people.
Good boy.
Secretly.
But, okay, he's old. We know this. Okay, and here's the thing. So, Jon Stewart is back hosting The Daily Show on Monday nights.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Big fan of Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
But he got a lot of heat because his first episode back, he talked about how Biden is old and Trump is old, which is true. I mean, Biden's like 81, right? And Trump's like 77, something like that.
Yeah, it's like a 3-year gap or something. Yeah. Because Biden, I think, just turned 81.
And certain progressives, what's the show that you listen to?
I listened to a few of them.
But the Stephanie, right?
Yeah, it's on Progressive Channel on
so
Sirius XM.
What's Stephanie's last name?
Miller.
Stephanie Miller. Yeah, so Stephanie Miller came out and she's had a running feud all week long.
Oh my God, every day.
About Jon Stewart.
And she's a comedian too. Yeah. So it's like...
Like, you didn't get the humor in what Jon was trying to say.
Why can't people just come out and say, I didn't like the joke? Like, what's so wrong with saying that rather than, like, throwing, like, this huge, massive fit? Now, I understand, to be fair, I understand one part of it that was a little bit, maybe he shouldn't have said. The part when he goes, look, if he does win again, speaking of Trump, we're gonna be fine. Not everyone is. Like, I did understand that part of it. But that's not what they kept going on about, you know? And so it's just like, I don't know. I'm really having a problem with us getting to this place in our country where we're so outraged because we don't like jokes, because we don't like certain jokes. It's like, okay, you don't like the joke, cool, move on. Yeah. Like, you told me to watch a stand-up special recently. Meh. I was like, but I'm not going to sit there and rag on the woman, you know? To me, my only thing with it was it seemed more like a TED Talk than a comedy special. That's the thing that I had with it. I'm like, if I'd be watching this in a different setting, like a TED Talk, it probably...
Yeah, Taylor Tomlinson, the one that took over the late night show. What was his name? After Stephen Colbert. Anyway, she does the late night show.
Okay.
Now. And... I don't know, I guess I was just in a silly enough mood.
Right.
That it just struck me funny. Now also...
Well, there were funny parts, don't get me wrong, but it was just kind of like, it wasn't like, when the new specials come out, I get like super excited. It wasn't like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was...
She wasn't terrible. I mean...
I think it was more like she reminded me of people I date.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then. Because I kind of thought that. I was like, maybe that's why MJ liked her so much. Because I was like...
I know. Hot and a little crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a different podcast. So,
right.
So, to get back to Jon Stewart, Mary Trump came out.
Who I love.
Yeah. No, I love. And to Mary Trump's defense, I sort of got her point of him comparing Biden to Trump in a way. In a way, I did. But in a way, Jon Stewart's a comedian. Jon Stewart isn't going to vote for Trump.
No. And I think he even said that, or
yeah.
came across.
Well, I mean, it's like anything.
Right.
We all know who we're voting for. I don't really think there's that many undecided people at this point.
Right.
I think we know.
I know.
And I think the polls kind of might be getting it wrong, kind of like they got Hillary wrong.
Well, the polls get it wrong, too, because a lot of people don't answer unknown phone numbers.
Especially younger people.
On their call, yeah. Me too.
I
don't like to answer them either because sometimes they're sales calls.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought you bastards weren't allowed to have our cell numbers to sell us shit.
If I don't know the number, I don't pick up. Like, if it's not one of my contacts, no, I'll just wait for the voicemail. And if it's something that, I'll respond to, I'll call back. But yeah. So, and the other thing that's getting lost, and I think Jon Stewart was trying to make this point, was the people, for the most part, that are calling Biden old and senile, not fit for the job, are the same people that are behind Trump, while Trump says and does stupid shit too all the time. All the time. What if Biden came out on stage and tried to do that dance like he's jerking off two pro wrestlers?
Right.
What if Biden did that?
They'd probably say that. He looks like he's jerking off two pro wrestlers. Nobody can jerk off two pro wrestlers like Trump can. Don't take that from him.
I mean, he's got the rhythm down.
He's got the rhythm for jerking off two pro wrestlers.
Proud to be an American is playing.
Especially when he's singing, when they're playing Macho Man.
No, that's it. Yeah. I want to
jerk off a macho man.
For an old white guy, he does have pretty good rhythm as far in his hands. Not his
jerking
feet.
it, yeah. Well, he probably has to jerk it a lot. I don't think Melania is jerking it no more for him.
Yeah, especially when you have, God, what does he have to pay out? Almost $500 million in settlements.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have to come up with those funds because of the fraud case in New York and the libel case.
That's probably why she's nowhere to be found. She's like in there adding up numbers.
Yeah.
I need to figure out how to get divorced and go find another billionaire to marry.
She's like, God damn, there goes half his fucking net worth. I was going to go to me.
Will this affect my settlements though? My prenup? I might need to get out of this.
Donna, that was my retirement fund.
I went and had this what'd she do? Re-up it? I went and had this re-upped just a few years ago. Now I'm seeing it. Is this going to affect me? Because this is the only reason I'm in this.
I'm so sad, Donald. Why don't you have another cheeseburger?
This is it, right? She's going to try to give him like a
heart in his arteries.
Heart attack. Yeah.
Dude, how does with someone with his demeanor and the way he eats and his weight, how does he not have hardened arteries? And how do you keep this guy alive?
I don't know.
Both Biden and Trump, you have to admit, for their ages, are in pretty good. Well, no, I'm not gonna say good
Biden's
shape.
out riding bicycles.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say good shape,
Right.
but something's keeping those two guys alive.
I don't know.
They're both.
Maybe it is modern medicine. We don't know.
I mean, isn't the life expectancy of the average man like 72 or 73 years old? It's something like that.
I think it's upper 70s now.
Do you?
Because I think women are 80s.
Well,
and then I think...
Alabama had the lowest, and that was like 72.
Yeah, but that's...
Hawaii had...
Like, so the South...
Hawaii's was 80.
Yeah,
so
like the
somewhere.
South really likes their fried food. So, I mean... I remember visiting my cousins in Louisiana, and I'm like, I can't wait to get home and like have grilled chicken and like salad, because this is like all fried. Not that it's not delicious. Don't get me wrong. Po' boys, delicious. Okay, the food is amazing, but fattening as fuck.
Snow, I just had this. You just gave me this idea because this maple syrup is all natural. I mean, it's gonna be like the tastiest thing. Take some of that maple syrup, pour it over some really good fried chicken.
Oh, yeah. Chicken and waffles. I'm making chicken and waffles.
All right, we're going to have to do that.
Chicken and waffles.
Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sending, now that I'm hooked, I can't have the other shit. Because once you mainline the good stuff, you can't go back to cheap, shit.
So you have to like order it.
So yeah, I'm going to have to start ordering this shit. And
yeah. Well, if it's that good too, I'll order it, because even when I buy maple syrup now, I don't like to buy like the store brand. I buy like the stuff that at least has the higher grading. I know it's not this, but
I wonder. We might have to experiment with this. We'll have to order more, of course. You mix that with some Bootsies and have like a barbecue.
Oh yeah,
glazed chicken.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah,
we'll have to ask PETA.
PETA. All right, you've got to name that barbecue sauce, the maple barbecue sauce, the MJ and Snow barbecue sauce.
or something.
I don't think the Reality Redemption sauce would be good.
Right. Maybe something a little more snazzier than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, going back to the pouring the maple syrup on packed snow, we call it sugar on snow.
Oh, okay.
And despite my broken childhood, I do have really good memories of stuff like that. And the other thing is, if you fuck, God, we diverted way off the topic. If you take this, and we'll have to get more. If you take this and you heat it up, like you boil it slowly on the oven, and you just mix it, and you mix it, and mix it, and you just keep on mixing. That's how you get maple candy.
Oh,
you know how it turns white?
Okay.
Well, when you mixing, it'll turn creamy.
Okay.
And then once it thickens up, you put it in the refrigerator. So you can get like little ice cube trays that are like little maple leaves.
Oh, yeah.
And you pour it into that, and then you put it in the refrigerator. You let it harden, and that's how you get the maple candy.
Maple candy. All right. That sounds good.
All right. There's your...
So many recipes now.
There's your maple talk.
Oh, my gosh.
For the week.
Yeah.
But it is maple season up there. So back to the Donald Trump, Joe Biden thing on it. The other argument I don't get, because he had that Russian guy, that supposedly had the dirt that Biden was getting bribes from
Smirnoff.
Smirnoff.
I remember his name because it's vodka, too.
Yeah.
Smirnoff vodka.
Yeah. So it turned out that he made the whole thing up.
Imagine that.
And that was the whole thing about corrupt Joe Biden is taking bribes from Ukraine. It's all made up.
That was their main star witness for the impeachment of Joe Biden. And they've already said, like, Jim Jordan and the other one, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but they were like, we're still moving forward with the impeachment because that was just a minuscule part of it. we're going to move forward with our impeachment. I'm like, all right, but now it's been proven that the guy was lying. Your star witness.
Yeah.
He's very confident, though.
And it was a Trump-appointed judge that had found that out, that charged him. It was a Trump-appointed judge that charged him with lying.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Whoa.
I don't know.
No.
And we'll get into how we do think this attack is unfair on Biden in just a second here. Jeez, fucking, don't you hate when you had a train of thought and it just, it's fucking...
It goes on a different track.
It's the Smitten Mittens.
Yeah, you're smitten by the mittens.
Yeah.
You're smitten by Bernie's Smitten Mittens. Maple s'more stout.
Now, I will say this. I think Biden's done a perfectly good job, a great job at times, with the situation coming off the coronavirus like he did. And then the economy was in the shitter when he took office. You know, Trump's great economy was in the shitter. And now if you take every economic factor that Trump touted, Biden does better on everything. Unemployment, on it. Right now, the stock market is up. So,
even though we should yet reiterate that the stock market has nothing to do with the president.
The day to day.
Okay.
Running.
But still, people look at that, and that goes on in people's minds, even though it is not, the president does not affect that. Yeah.
Or Biden was able to pass the infrastructure plan Trump was never able to do.
Trump was only able to get tax cuts for billionaires. And the one thing that we actually thank him for, the vaccine was rolled out under him. Yeah. So thank you.
So even though Biden's done a capable job, when he ran, I think both of us had issues of his age then on the last election. You were like, oh, he is getting up there. But I think we were led to believe that he would just be a bridge president. Well, to serve 4 years.
Well, to be fair, he did kind of say that. When he first announced it, he was like, I'm planning on being a one-term president, and I want to kind of pass the reins over to the next person. Yeah. And I think the only reason that, I don't know though, I'm not pretending to be a mind reader here, but maybe the only reason he's staying and running again is because of the person that's running. Maybe if they didn't run Trump, because Trump is going to be the nominee for the Republicans, maybe if they didn't choose Trump, maybe things would be different and he'd be like, all right, I'm passing the reins over. You know what I mean?
Right. Because, make no doubt about it, fuck your conspiracy theories and everything else, that the election was stolen. Biden beat Trump.
Right.
And in Arizona, Biden beat Trump.
Well, and the people that still believe, they're not going to believe it ever. They are convinced, even though Bill Barr came out and said he lost the election, even though they have Trump on recording saying that I can't believe I lost to that loser. Still.
They still believe it.
With all the people who have came out. Didn't Cassidy Hutchinson tell us that too? That he knew he lost? Yeah. I mean, you can have person after person say it, but if Trump says something else that he won, his morons are going to believe that. Yeah,
Kevin McCarthy also said
he lost and then went and kissed the ring down in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Mar-a-Lago.
So, I mean, I don't know. I wish it was any two other candidates, despite the job Biden has done. Now, I don't think people like Bill Maher and Jon Stewart do a good enough job at
explaining
that.
Right. I think, like, this is what I wish they would do. If they're going to sit there and talk about Biden's age, like, I don't know why they can't. And especially if you're a Biden supporter, why aren't you out there talking about all the things that he's gotten done? Like, why aren't you out there doing that? And then on the other hand, like, if you're not a fan of Donald Trump and you have a big stage like that, why are you not out there saying, well, he's recently been convicted of being a rapist? Because he has been. The jury of his... There was even one juror who is a complete and total Trump humper, is planning on voting for Donald Trump again, and still said the facts were there. He did it. So I don't know why you can't go out there and keep reiterating stuff like that, Biden's accomplishments, and then doing that. That, to me, there's got to be jokes in there that if we really thought about it, we could probably make some jokes in there.
Yeah. Well, we're stating that. We're stating the fact, though. We wish Biden wasn't running, but can you really tell? Like, I don't know how people vote. I don't know how the majority of people vote, but I vote on policies. There's certain policies. There's certain things. Women's rights, LGBTQ rights. Not restricting voting for anyone. These are all important issues to me. Trying to stay out of wars.
I vote. I that's exactly what I vote on. Issues. I'm an issues voter, and it's not just a one issue. It's not like for me. Okay, being a woman. My only issue will not be the abortion issue. I'm letting everyone know that right now. That's not going to be the only issue. However, that is an important issue that I'm voting on. But that is not my only issue. There are tons of issues that I have.
Yeah. And I think we both did this during the last election. They have that, but there's not going to be as many candidates this time. But they base it. You go through this questionnaire. How do you feel about this? Is it not? Is it very important to you? Not, and then it goes down the line to not important. And each issue you go through, and it tells you who you should vote for based on the issues. And that's the way people should be. Because I can't see anybody that was voted for Biden to suddenly vote for Trump. And it kind of puzzles me, like the people that went from voting for Obama to voting for Trump. Because I'm like, based on policy, though. Shouldn't you be voting for Hillary?
Well,
despite Hillary baggage.
Well, also, to be fair, so in the 2016 election, a lot of the folks that were fans of Bernie Sanders turned around and voted for Donald Trump. And the reason why was because Donald Trump was out there. He saw how popular Bernie's views were. So he went out there and said that he was going to do those things. He talked about, I'm going to give health care. I'm going to do all that. So that's how he lied. He lied through his teeth. He wasn't planning on doing any of that, but that's how he sucked away Trump or Bernie's voters.
Yeah, but people should have seen through that.
You would think, because we're fans of Bernie's. We're drinking his beer right now.
Yeah.
So, but what we did, like, that's why it irritates me sometimes when they sit there and talk about they'll talk about diehard Bernies or burners or Bernie fans. And I'm like, no. If you were a true Bernie fan, then you would have done what Bernie Sanders said, and you wouldn't have voted for Trump.
And isn't Bernie...
Or Bernie himself.
Isn't Bernie older than both of them?
He is. I think Bernie... Isn't Bernie older than Joe Biden?
Yeah, I think so.
Too?
By a year, I think.
Yeah, it's close.
But Bernie... And this is where the ageism thing comes in, because we're getting kind of ageist by saying, both of them are too old. But Bernie is still sharp.
Right.
So, he doesn't have those miscues. And again, in Biden's defense, he does stutter.
Right. Well, I think that's a lot of Biden's.
Yeah. Biden
is the stuttering thing.
Does talk slow, because he's trying not to stutter.
Right.
So, and he's like, I think also it gets in his head. And how could it not get in your head when everybody's criticizing everything you say to not really slow down and like let me say?
I have a question then, a thought here. What if we just decided what if his handlers decided, you know what, just start stuttering. So they at least, because it's almost like people don't believe that he's a stutterer. Yeah. They just say, no, he's losing his mind. Why don't we just start letting him stutter then? And then be like, is this really, this is why he's doing this, because it's going to be like an embarrassment. There's like a stigma attached to stutterers.
Yeah.
But it's like, then maybe they would finally believe it. And again, we're not saying he's not old, okay? But it's like, I know people younger than me who have senior moments who are, I myself will be like, what's the word I'm looking for, and you try to go into your brain and dig it out. Everybody has those.
Yeah. But I was thinking about I think of the late night show, James Corden.
Right.
I can't think of his name.
Right.
And I know comedians. Well.
I know, but sometimes you have what is called a brain fart. Yeah. We all have them.
Anyway, so we'll end it on this point, though. We want to pull this clip of Biden, and what it is people get cruel, and then they attack him about his son.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
I know there's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, wasn't any of their damn business. I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president, and I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak. That's
Your memory has gotten worse.
No, look, my memory is not good. My memory is fine.
Okay. Yeah, so attacking him.
He said in there, I'm an elderly man. He even said it. He knows he's old, folks.
But attacking him over his son, there's just certain things.
That's low.
There's certain things that you just shouldn't go there.
How do you have, is that what having balls looks like to be a creep? Just like, that guy's a fucking creep. Who says that to somebody?
And nobody really gives Biden the credit for his comedic timing. Because Biden does come up with some good singers. I don't know.
I know that. That was pretty funny. Yeah. I know. And then the other time, the thing that gets me too about his timing, I'll say it again about his State of the Union address when he was sitting there saying, now the Republicans want to get rid of your Social Security and Medicare, and MTG was all like, you lie, you're a liar. You're a liar, and carrying on. And he let her go on and on. Let her call him names. And then he goes, okay, so you're not going to do that, right? You're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. Okay, folks, you heard it here. They are not going to get rid of your Social Security and Medicare. Like, hello, how many younger folks would have thought to do something like that? Yeah. They totally trapped them in their own bullshit.
Yeah, and you've seen other presidents up there giving the State of the Union, and they stick to that speech that's right in front of them. They don't divert.
He stepped out of that speech to address that classless bitch, and then went right back into it. That's why I'm like, okay, I keep hearing all these things, and it's not like I don't want to believe people. It's not like I want to sit there and just say, you're a liar for what are you talking about? Yeah. Biden's losing his mind. But I'm like, I'm sitting there watching the 2-hour-long speeches. He's like on point the whole time. Where are all these things that you're talking about? Where? Because I'm not seeing him.
And to the last point of that about that is it always goes back to the make America great again. We should go back to American values, American this, American that, blah, blah, blah. Wasn't one of the values that you were taught and I was taught as a kid to respect your elders?
Right.
Because they were wise and they've been around?
But maybe not if you're white trash. I mean, maybe it's not the same. I don't know.
Now, when you have Donald Trump saying the shit that he says and fucking deflecting and blaming everyone else and the whole world's against me and you have this misery complex about you, no, I'm not going to really respect you. You know, and there were times, so many times during Trump's presidency, the one in after shit. See, now I haven't seen your moment. AARP.
You can't even handle things anymore, MJ. You're old.
Yeah.
You're old. We need to send you to the fucking glue factory. You're old.
No, when he was saying there was fine people on both sides and at the protests that girl got run over and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, Heather Heyer.
Yeah, and he had the chance to come out and be like, this is wrong. I'm going to denounce this. And he didn't.
Right. Why would he? Those people love him.
Yeah.
He's all for it. Trump views things as, do these people like me or do they hate me?
You're either with me or against me.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Those are his rules. They're very simple.
And then your solution after you're faced with $500 million worth of fines and stuff like that is,
are you gonna buy my gold sneakers or not?
My gold sneakers.
So they have a red bottom on them, and Christian Louboutin, the guy, he makes like, I think they're like $600, $700 women's high heel shoes. Like they're famous shoes, right? Like if you ever watch Sex and the City, you would hear her talking about her Louboutins. Okay. They have the signature red bottom. So I think he's trying to sue him for trademark now. It's like, dude, you can't keep yourself out of legal problems.
Dude, they're ugliest sneakers ever, but...
Oh, yeah.
But apparently, and this is subject...
They sold out.
They sold out. Of course they're going to sell out. Of course.
Of
course. People were taking out mortgages on their trailers.
To get that just to buy those?
Yeah.
Oh.
But hey, I guess black people are going to vote for him now.
I think that's what he's trying to angle in. He's like, black people like sneakers. I'm going to make sneakers.
Black people like stylish sneakers.
Yeah, I don't think...
Say what you want about Yeezy, but, the guy can design some good sneakers.
Right?
So...
maybe he can have Tim Scott model his sneakers for him.
Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to wrap this one up. Okay, and we'll be back in a couple days because we're back now. We're back in the studio. We'll come at you more regularly.
Right.
We'll keep you informed about the upcoming election, but we'll talk about other shit too. But for now, we're going to enjoy the rest of these Smitten Mittens.
Our Bernie beer.
Yeah. I was like, the whole time I was like huffing it. I was like,
The smell of Vermont.
All right, y'all. We'll talk to you later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.